Finished my whole Birria burrito in maybe 2 minutes. It's that good. It is the best Birria burrito in Arkansas, hands down. Amazing. You have to go to Los Compas if you live in Arkansas, but let's see if we can make something even close to as good as this. We're gonna start off with our massive chuck roast. Drop that right in there. Then we've got our short ribs. You wanna leave the fat on here because it's just gonna add to the flavor of this dish. Time for the veggies. We're gonna add in 1 whole peeled white onion, add in enough carrots to equal about 1 carrot. We're gonna smash up a few garlic cloves, add them in here. You don't need to chop these because we're just gonna boil them and then add them to our sauce later. Now drop your garlic in there, and as you can see, we're starting to get some really pretty color in here. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take our chilies and we're gonna de-seed them and de-stem them and drop them in here. Now we're de-seeding these chilies, not necessarily because of the heat factor, but because we want our broth to have a nice, smooth, silky texture. Now we've got 8 of our guajillo chilies in here. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's gonna be the perfect amount of flavor for this dish. We're gonna season it with a good amount of salt. We're gonna hit it with some oregano, a little bit of cumin, just to give it a nice little pop of heat. And then I'm gonna add 3 chicken bouillon cubes. Don't lack on your seasoning here. You wanna add enough seasoning to fully flavor this whole dish. We're gonna add enough water just to fully cover this dish so that as we bring it to a boil, all these flavors will incorporate into the meat. We're gonna toss our lid on this and let it boil for about 30 minutes. But while we're waiting on that, our friends over at Los Compas are gonna show us how to make a Birria burrito. Birria is a traditional Mexican dish from the state of Jalisco. It's traditionally a soup or stew made from a combination of chili peppers, garlic, cumin, bay leaves, onion, and cooked at a low heat. And today we're gonna be using a little bit of beef short rib and some beef chuck roast. And that's how you make the perfect Birria burrito. We've been letting this boil for about 30 minutes. And what you'll see around the corners here is a little bit of scum that's coming up. And what that is it's from the short rib. A little bit of that bone marrow is boiling out, and we're just gonna get that so that we have a nice clear broth. As we've been letting our peppers boil for a bit, we're gonna take them out, toss them in a blender. We're gonna add a little bit of this broth in there to make a nice sauce to add back into our broth. Now we're gonna add our sauce back in, but we're gonna run it through a fine mesh strainer to make sure that this is a nice, smooth sauce. As you can tell, our chilies have turned our broth red. I'm gonna add a little bit of chili powder in here, and then I'm gonna cover it with a lid, let it sit for about 3 hours, and I'm gonna stick a nap. Just right down here. Oh, me and Patty, taking a nap. I'll see you later. It's officially 3 a.m. and we've got our burrito's been going for close to 4 hours, just slow cooking. The meat looks like it's so rich in flavor. Now I'm just gonna take all this and just hand shred it. As you can see, the meat is just fall apart tender. Now we're gonna take our broth and very gingerly strain it. All right, we're back. It's no longer 3 a.m., so I can talk like a normal person. We got a little bit of rest. We've got all of our ingredients ready. We've got our burrilla, our refried beans, Mexican rice, cheese, sauteed jalapenos, white onion, and cilantro. And we've got our consomme here. So I'm just gonna hit our tortilla in this, toss it down on our pan there, let it get nice and warm. It also put a nice crust on this tortilla as well. Now that we've got our tortilla nice and heated up, we're gonna add on a hearty helping of cheese here. Let's go ahead and let that melt down a little bit. Some of our Mexican rice that I made last night, a few little pieces of our sauteed jalapeno, a hearty dose of our refried beans. The star of the show, We're gonna top that with our Birria, fresh torn cilantro and white onion. Give it a nice little pop of crunch and some bright, nice cilantro flavors. You're gonna roll it over, pull it back a little bit, keep rolling. And we're not done yet. Now what you've all been waiting for, look at that. And you got your rice, your beans, your cheese, your Birria, cilantro, jalapenos, everything that you need inside a delicious burrito. And a huge shout out to our friends over at Los Compas for showing us how to make this beautiful work of art. Be sure to hit them up with a follow. I'll link them down in the description. And as always, hit us up with a like, subscribe, click that bell, and drop us a line, because we want to know what you want to see next on Griffith Goods and Spirits.